Hello dear students, welcome back to your chemistry class. The chapter that we are going to start today is chapter number 5, the language of chemistry. The language of chemistry is different from the ordinary language. We use symbols, formulas and equations in the chemistry to represent substances and the changes that they undergo. And who laid the foundation of chemistry's language? That is J.J. Berzelius. So, J.J. Berzelius laid the foundation of the chemistry language and it is gradually developed to the present form. Now we shall discuss about symbols. A symbol is an abbreviation for the name of an element. There are so many elements present in the periodic table. So abbreviation of those elements name is nothing but symbols. So we write the symbols by 3 rules. The first is the first letter of English name of an element. For example, hydrogen. The symbol of hydrogen is H. So just we took the first letter of the English name. Next one, we can take the example of carbon. We only took the first letter of this alphabet, of this letter carbon, first alphabet, that is in the capital form. Capital C means carbon. The next one is, second rule is the first letter along with one more letter of an English name of an element. For example, calcium. So we can take first 2 letters. Ca represents calcium. And for magnesium, we can write Mg. This one letter or the next letter, third letter of the magnesium, we can represent magnesium by Mg. So Mg symbol is used for magnesium. And third rule is 1 or 2 letter of the Latin names of the element. For example, natrium is the Latin name of sodium. So the symbol for the sodium is Na. And the iron's Latin name is ferrum. So we can take first 2 letters of the element name. Fe means iron. Next we shall discuss what does a symbol represent. What does a symbol represents? A symbol represents an element in particular. For example, if I had written N, that means this symbol is used for nitrogen only. So there is a particular symbol for a particular element. And if I write O, that means this symbol is for oxygen. It clearly indicates the element oxygen. So second point is an atom of an element. If I write O, that means there is only one atom of oxygen here. So symbols represent an element in particular as well as an atom of an element. Next we shall discuss about formulae. In chemistry, a formula of a molecule gives the number of atoms of the same or different elements present in the molecule. For example, if I write H2, this means there are two atoms of hydrogen, that is of the same element, and if I write H2O, that means there are two atoms of hydrogen and one atom of oxygen. Next one is atomicity. The number of atoms contained in a molecule is called atomicity of the molecule. Now students, as you know, oxygen does not exist as O. In the atmosphere, it exists as O2. So, 2 is the atomicity of the oxygen. In the similar manner, the atomicity of phosphorus is 4 because it exists as P4, and the atomicity of sulfur is 8. It exists as S8. So, the elements which have the atomicity 2 are called diatomic. Whose atomicity is 2 is diatomic, and whose atomicity is 3 triatomic. Sulfur is octatomic. And noble gases such as helium, neon, etc. These exist as such as their element is, like H is element and it also exists as He. So these are monatomic. Next, we shall discuss about valency of an element. Valency of an element is the combining capacity of an element, or the number of hydrogen atoms with which it combines or displaces. Valency is the combining capacity. For example, Cl combines with one hydrogen to form HCl. So we can see that the valency of the Cl, that is chlorine, is 1 because it combines with one hydrogen, and oxygen combines with two hydrogen to form water. So we can say the valency of oxygen is 2 because it needs two hydrogen. Elements with valency 1 to 3 are said to be monovalent, divalent and trivalent respectively. We shall discuss the valency of first 20 elements. Valency starts from 1 up to 4 and then it decreases up to 0. So we can write the valency of first 20 elements as hydrogen, helium, lithium, beryllium, boron, carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, fluorine, neon, sodium, magnesium, aluminium, silicon, phosphorus, sulfur, chlorine, argon, potassium and calcium. So from this valency table you can see the valency of the one column is same, that is valency of hydrogen, lithium and sodium and potassium is 1, and the valency of boron family, that is B and Cal, is 3. So in the respective column the valency is same. So you can find that it is a periodic. In the next class you will learn what is periodicity, because the same valency is there. So the properties are repeating. You will learn more about the periodicity in the next class. And now we shall discuss about formulae of compounds. How we write the formulas of compounds. It is very easy to write the formula of a compound if we know its valency. formulae of compounds. If the valency of the element A is X, say any element A, and the valency of element B is Y. So how to write the formula of the compound? Just cross multiply the valencies. We can write A subscript Y and B subscript X, and this gives the formula of the compound. Let us discuss it with the help of an example. For example, the valency of aluminium is 3 and valency of oxygen is 2. So the formula of the compound would be Al2O3. Just cross multiply the valencies and write it as subscript. So in this manner you can write the formula of any compound if you know its valency. One more rule is there. Numeral subscripts are divided by common factor, if any. For example, the valency of carbon is 4 and the valency of oxygen is 2. So we can write the formula of the compound as C2O4. But here we can cancel out the subscript with the common factor. The common factor here is 2. So we can write the formula is CO2, that is carbon dioxide. So we can also cut the valencies on the common table. Next rule is, there are some exceptions, like for hydrogen peroxide. In hydrogen peroxide we cannot cut the valencies, otherwise it would become HO, which is not possible. The formula is hydrogen peroxide. So you have to learn these formulas which is having exceptions. Other exceptions are C2H2, that is acetylene. So here we can not cut 2 and 2. We can't write it as CH. It is wrong. So there are always some exceptions. So do read those exceptions very carefully. Next we shall discuss about variable valency. Variable valency. There are some compounds or some elements that show variable valency. For example, some compounds like copper show 1 as well as 2 valency, and the iron shows 2 as well as 3 valency. So some compounds show variable valency. For example, in FeO, if the valency of iron is 2, oxygen valency, you know now that oxygen's valency is 2. You have to remember the valencies. So we can write Fe2O2, that is FeO. So here the iron is showing 2 valency, and in another example, if iron shows 3 valency and oxygen 2, then the formula would become Fe2O3. We can write these compounds by representing the valency in Roman numerals in the bracket. For example, here the valency of iron is 2. We can write iron in bracket Roman numerals 2 oxide. But here the valency of iron is 3. So we can write iron in the bracket oxidation state, that is valency of the iron is 3. So we can write iron 3 oxide. We usually represent the valency, variable valency of the metals in the bracket with Roman numerals. Next we shall discuss about compounds containing radicals. compounds containing radicals. So first you have to understand what are radicals. A radical is a kind of entity that can be an atom with a charge on it or a group of atoms with a charge on it behaving as a single atom. For example, Na positive, Ka positive, Cl, Ca2 positive and NH4 positive. These are positive radicals. They can be a single atom. Na is a single atom, sodium, but here nitrogen and hydrogen, two atoms combine and form a group that behaves as a single atom with the charge on it. Negative examples of radicals are Cl negative, F negative, SO4 2 negative, CO3 2 negative, carbonate, sulfate, chloride, fluoride. So these are the examples of negative radicals. It can also be a single atom with the charge on it or a group of atoms behaving as a single atom with the charge on it. Now it behaves as a single atom. You can understand this variable valency with this radical formation with the help of these cards. One atom of calcium having two positive charge combines with each hydroxide ion and forms a compound. So compounds containing radicals are actually neutral because here two positive charge of calcium is balanced by each negative charge on hydroxide ion. Calcium has two positive charge and each hydroxide has negative charge. So how to write the compound? CaOH2. 2 will go here and 1 here. So compound is actually neutral. There are two OH because two positive charge and two negative charge would cancel out each other, and the formula of the compound is CaOH2, that is neutral. So it is very important to see if the charges are balanced or not balanced while forming compounds from radicals. Next one, we shall discuss about chemical equations.